What's going on, everybody? You know what I'm saying? This your boy, aka JB, aka Mr. Arkansas, aka Boost Emmanuel. Hit the like button, subscribe to my channel. As you see, I'm looking around on the news. It's a police chief named Floyd Mitchell. he got he said he tired. And he only been on the force out there in Oakland, California. He been the police chief for like a year, almost 2 years and a half, or something like that. He resigned. He said he can't take it no more because how the situation is, how the crime, the fundings and everything, and he realized he can't do it. That's the problem now. When you become that type of high power for anything, that's a rough job. That is a rough job to be a police chief. Don't you know how much stuff you gotta deal with? And people fail to realize that you gotta deal with crime, robberies, everything that be hurting the city and the state, you gotta deal with. And that man has some type of sense. Some type of sense. And I know he like to do what he doing for the job. But he's not gonna get nowhere. Especially with how everything been going on anywhere in these states and cities. You can do what you mostly you can do, but it's not gonna be enough because it's so much crime and stuff going on that you got you don't have that many police officers. You got some leaving because they still, and you got some getting killed in the line of duty because there's so much stuff going on in the states and the cities that you don't got enough to cover nobody. You don't have no funds. If you run out of funds, then what? Then you have all these crimes that committed, people getting killed every day. All the pressure's on your back. All the pressure on your back. It's on your back. So he said he said he can't do no more. After 1.5 years, year and a half, being a police chief out there in Oakland, California. And you know what? He's a smart man. Because anything, like I said, anything can happen, anything gonna fall back on him. That's a hard job. That's a hard job to deal with. But he's smart. He wanted to see what was gonna happen. You know, Oakland is a bad place. Where it's a good place, but it's like a lot of crimes and gangs and other stuff happens just like in other states. It happens like in other states. But how can you deal with all that? The drug dealers, the economy, the schools, everything is riding down toward him. And he just said he can't deal with it no more. And then they talking about the crime is going down. That's a lie. That crime is always high. Every state you go in, they all how my crime is down. This percentage of that. No. Mm-mm. Mm-mm. They miss me, don't. After all this stuff been going on, y'all, every state they have my crime down. That's a lot. That's a lot. That's a lot. I'm telling you, every state had that problem. I'll tell you too, if I was me, I never try to run from nowhere. Never. On top of it, you risking your life, ain't worth it. For how people acting, what they doing. They don't care about no authority, none of that. You just actually risking your life and your family life. He said he gonna resign around December. So I guess he's still gonna be around the department, but he just don't want to be the main person no more. I don't blame him. I don't blame him. You gonna flick around in the department, but being the head chief, the head person, or police department, so what they gonna end up doing, they gonna end up finding somebody else who won't be a police chief so bad, who won't do this or won't try to do that. But once they get their butt in that office, they're gonna regret it. They're gonna regret it. They're gonna regret it. They think their job's gonna be easy. How? How you expect that job gonna be easy? You're gonna have more pressure on you than anybody else. You gonna be the chief of the police. You the main guy. You see, I think the first time when he got hired on, he figured he gonna have a lot of stuff that he really needs. But if you got people leaving, you got people getting killed, you got no funding for a lot of stuff, that's a lot of pressure. Because you got to have all that. And you got to have a good staff with you. But if you ain't got none yet, and you just constantly try to be a police chief, the main person in the police department, you got people walking out, leaving, killed all the time, robbing, crime will be going up even worse and worse. You trying to figure out how to get certain stuff out the streets. Mm, too much. And like I said, I don't blame them. I don't blame them. I step down too. A lot of people would be calling him a punk. A lot of people be talking about he's sorry. He didn't stay there long enough. But you gotta think about it. You ain't doing it. You ain't doing it. Are infused with 2 times more essential oil. At least that man figured out that he know he ain't gonna be able to do nothing. He probably figured he ain't gonna be able to do nothing. He wish he ain't. Because the crime is gonna be higher and higher every time, every day. Every day of crime. It's 2025. I'm looking at it now. Since February 20th, 2020, it's one, two, three police chiefs. Well, he got came for uh, Floyd Mitchell came in. He got hired March 2024. So he wasn't really in there for a whole year yet. He wasn't really in there for a whole year yet because he got hired on March 2024. So yeah, he been there a year and a half. He been there a year and a half. But it's just and then certain and the people that hired him, and it's crazy. He had, what I said, two women was in there. The one of them later got fired February 2020. Then the had a dude came in. They appointed him February 2021 to be the chief, and then there was another one in January 2020. It was January 2023. The guy that came in 2021, he was in there for a couple of years, and he put on a leave, so he left. And then the guy right here, Floyd Mitchell, took over for his spot, and he only gonna be there for a year and a half. So what that tell you? The next person gonna come in there probably gonna do something stupid to get fired, cause he gonna whoever it is gonna get tired of all that mess. They gonna want out, or they just gonna leave. I mean, all these states gonna be going through all this stuff, just being a police chief. And that man, the only thing about that situation, that man's smart. He knows he's not gonna be able to help this state. He knows that the crime and stuff is not gonna go down. He knows he can't stop this stuff, and he gonna have no funds to do a lot of stuff. So he got common sense to know. Well, I'm not gonna be no police chief, but I'm still gonna find something else to do to stick around and be in the police department. That's what he gonna do. Cause he don't want to be the head man no more, which I don't blame him. You don't want to be head bad. You want to be a head man or woman or anything these days. But like I said, that's a lot of problems you got to deal with. That's a lot of problems you got to deal with in the situation of being anything of a head person. Unless you want that person. Me personally, I wouldn't want it. No, I wouldn't want it. I wouldn't want it. Because it's crime is going. You can't stop crime. You just can't. You can't stop the crime. You can't stop the violence. You just can't. You just can't. You can't stop that. None of that. None of that. You can slow it down. You can slow it down a lot of stuff, but stopping it completely, man, it's not gonna work. Stopping anything is not gonna work. That's a lot of pressure. And that man realized that. He realized when he got that job, he probably knew when he got it, it's gonna be problems. But look what he got to deal with. He realized that off the top, off the rip, he realized that. But I guess he figured if he come in, try to be a police chief, he'll try to at least narrow some of that stuff down. But try to. But like I said, if you ain't got no funding for a lot of stuff, schools getting out of hand. These kids is going nuts. Then you got to deal with parents that some of them don't care, some of them do. That's a lot of problem, headache. Then you got to go in the streets where people robbing, stealing, killing, trying to take figure away, trying to get drug dealers, chains and stuff off the streets, lock them up. And everybody want it seems like everybody come joke they problems come to you. And then you don't have time for your own family. When you do take time, then ain't gonna be enough. No. Ain't there much money in the world. Ain't that much money in the world for make me want to do that. No headline and nothing. I tell the person in there, no. Mm-mm. I wouldn't even volunteer trying to go for the job because that's too much. That's too much. That's too much headache. That is too much. You gotta go through. And he, like I said, he a smart man. He like he a smart man. He probably figured, like I said, he probably figured if he go be the Oakland Police chief, that he can see what he can do. He can see what he manage, what he can do, and all the crimes and all the gang violence and school districts and kids and murderers and all that, sex offenders and all that mess. Trying to keep people off the streets, trying to keep guns from floating around in the states or stuff, drugs coming from everywhere. He just realized, and then he ain't got no, and then on top of it, losing police officers who dying on duty, trying to get more police officers to replace people that resign or quit or getting locked up now. And then all the violence. That's the thing. That's the main thing. All the trouble that's gonna be coming in the states and the areas and places out there in Oakland, California. And you think you finna sit there and deal with all that stuff day by day. Mr. Floyd Mitchell, I applaud you, man. You did the right thing. People can say what they want about you. Hey, long as you was in there was trying to help and try to figure out how you gonna do some stuff. If you knew you couldn't do it, if you ain't got no help and you can't, your mentality is you can't do it, leave. That's the first thing you do is resign. They can't talk about you. I know them, man. They can't talk about you. You know why? Nobody else ain't gonna step in that role like that. They're trying to take no big challenges for everything going on in one state. It's just not. It's just not. You a smart man. I'm just gonna be real with you. You want to live like the rest of these people. The one that got common sense that want to live. You try to live and deal with your family, have a family, take care of your family as well. But you also know anything happen, that means you got to get up and talk in front of the whole world. You got to tell these people what's going on. And apparently, at your age, how you look, you don't want to be doing it all the time. All the press conference and people with cameras and reporters out in your face every day. No, that's too much. It's entirely too much. And so I'm not mad at you all, man, by stepping down. You probably in a year and a half that you've been there, you probably been going through a whole lot. And then the crazy part about it, it's not just your job. You got a personal life. You just got a personal life. That's one thing you don't really have when you become the main person. You don't have no personal life. Even though you want to do your job, you just ain't gonna have no time to do it. To have no personal life. You know what I'm saying? So, and it's rough. It's rough. You know what I'm saying? You got a family. You can't never. barely see you because you so much out there every day. Every day, every day, all through the night, it's something going on in that state and that city. That's a big place. A lot of people come there. A lot of people come to Oakland. A lot of people live there. So you really have pressure every day, all through the day. It's not one time you don't never have no pressure because, like I said, you the chief of the police out there up in California. That's any state. Anybody who's the chief of police gonna have problems. Point blank. Point blank. Because that's what you sign up for. People know you sign up for it, it's gonna, like I tell people all the time. When you sign up for something, you gotta put your effort all in. All in. You can't go halfway. You can't go, I want to be this person and be this person this day, and or you just think you just gonna be a 9 to 5 job and clock in and clock out. No, that's every day, all day job. And if you got that job, well, you're gonna need a lot of strength for the Lord and Jesus Christ then. I'm telling you. That job right there is that job like that is too much. I know what I tell a person, I wouldn't care how much money they pay me to do that. I wouldn't do it. I'm just saying. I mean, I know the sound of money sounds right and all that, but once that sound like a contract, you sign your name on that dotted line. Woo, that's a problem. Soon you step foot in that room, that office, it's gonna be there. You go. There you go. Soon you step foot in that damn office with your name tag on that door. And you put that uniform on with that hat. Mm-mm-mm. I bet you've been thinking about that. I bet that man was thinking about that for a while. I bet he probably, when he was going home to his wife, had that conversation. Said, baby, I don't think I'm going to do this too long. But man, shoot. You know what? And the crazy part about it, I'm surprised that a lot of police chiefs haven't been killed like that. Now, there's been some been killed, and some that had common sense to resign like him. But haven't been too many police chiefs that I know of since I've been around the world. Been killed. They just been dealing with a lot of headaches, and that's not just a lot of men. There's been a lot of women become police chiefs too. They probably realized that too. But I'm thinking about the situation was like in the case of, like I said, you don't have no life. You don't have no life when you become that main person. Because you, like I said, you always out there in the streets. You always out there, somewhere out there trying to come up with a solution to help a state or a city. Try to make a plan, try to get everything down, but everything instead of going down, it's going up. It's going up. It's not staying down, it's going up. Because now everything gonna rise up, and then you gotta sit there and come up with a solution to a problem. And there'll be plenty of problems you gotta come up with a solution for. You gotta stand in front of the mediator and talk. What you gonna plan to do and how you gonna do it. You gotta have building funds. You gotta try to keep these kids in school. You gotta try to do this. You gotta stop trying to keep violence out the street. Try to keep people from using balance. You try to figure out how to get guns and stuff out the street. See, that's why I say the National Guard. See, if you got in every state. You got a National Guard, Army, whoever, Navy. If they can cooperate and you can pay them to help y'all in every state, then maybe something gonna go down and stay down for a while, and maybe it won't be that much bad as crime and other stuff in the world. That's the solution for us. I think, for me personally, I think the solution is to get the National Guards in every state. Anybody who got military background in every state to help with the police department. That's on the way. I realized that when I seen when the National Guards and stuff came to the parts of came to the states they say they want to, and I realized that if they can get every state to have National Guard, anybody to serve the military and pay them just the way they pay their police officer with funding, maybe a lot of that stuff will go down. It might not stay down, but it go down enough. I mean, crimes, violence, robberies, everything, prostitution, anything that's hurting the city. Anything that's hurting the city. Maybe if they can get funds, they get enough funds that spread it out to pay them for them to join in with the police, any of the police department in the state or the city. Maybe some of this stuff will go down. It might not stay down, but it might go down enough for people can enjoy their lives and live comfortably. I'm just saying, you know what I'm saying? That's the only solution I really see about it. Because alone you just got the police department, sheriffs, and the chiefs is not gonna work. Not. They might come down some stuff, but for us to get the main stuff that bring it down, like violence, guns, prostitution, uh, the gangs, robberies, and the main stuff and drugs, the main stuff that's hurting the city and the state, If they can bring it all the way down and stay like in a level part that they can deal with, they don't have to worry about you hearing and seeing stuff every day on TV or on social media every day that you got to be talking and trying to figure out what's gonna happen. Just like I said, get the get the get the military, any military involved and pay them. If you got the type of funds, get you some funds. If you can get enough funds from the government to pay them out, just like you pay the police department out, and just let them come. You know what I'm saying? Join in with y'all. Join in the police department in any part of the state or the city, and maybe a lot of stuff will go down. That's the solution. I mean, that's the only thing. That's the only thing for me personally, being a man, and what I see every day, or what I see on TV or social media. That's the only way. That's the only way some of that stuff will come down. Some of it. But to meanwhile, it's gonna be just like this what this man did. Floyd Mitchell. Gonna get in there for a little while. He gonna realize he ain't do nothing. He gonna drink his coffee. He gonna eat his bagel. He gonna do something to try to figure out what he can do. And if he can't do it, he's just gonna leave. And you see what he did yesterday. October 10th, 2025, that man said he had enough. And he said he gonna stick around to the end of December to see what they gonna come up with, and can it and see can they he can help find a brand new police chief or lady, man or woman. They're gonna come there and try to take that road. If they don't, he's not gonna stick around. So whoever's trying to be the intern or that person that left, they gonna have to fill in until they find a original police chief. The main person who won't feel like they can take a road, think they're gonna stop something. Like I said, they're not gonna stop nothing. It's too hard to try to stop all that at once. You just ain't gonna do it. You just ain't gonna do it. You're wasting your time. Wasting your time. So like I said, I don't blame him sticking around for a while, trying to figure out what he can do, what he can't do, and he know he can't do it. So the man just stepped down. Step down. I mean, what more did you think that man could say? I don't know. What you think? I'm just saying. I'm gonna ask everybody this because I know some people get on my page, some people don't, and that's understandable. Because I got a lot of different stuff I'm talking about all the time. But what you think the people that watching me or whatever? What you think is gonna happen? Would you put yourself in the spot just like this man did, Floyd Mitchell? Stay there, deal with all them problems, with no solution, or you just gonna step down and leave and try to figure out who gonna be next? I don't know. I'll tell you right now, I couldn't do it. Couldn't, couldn't do it. Couldn't do it. Couldn't do it. It's just like right now. I'm up. I'm up because I took me a nap. That man probably ain't gonna never get no sleep. Probably never had no sleep. He did have sleep. He's getting it right back up. Because somebody did some violent stuff. Somebody did a crime. And then there he go. He got to get up, put his clothes on, get ready for professional, go out there and talk. What talking gonna do? You can't do nothing. I mean, you just basically just wasting time, wasting your life, basically. Trying to figure out what you can do for the state and the city. That's pretty much it. All I can say. It's rough. It's rough. It's nothing gonna change. That's the only solution I figured out when I was out there thought about when I was out there seeing all this stuff when the National Guard came to the places they went to. They arrested some people. They took some guns out of the street, and a little bit of time they was there. Well, a little bit of time like I said, it was there. They figured out a little solution about the problems, but they didn't get they didn't solve all the problems. You have the problem. You can't solve all the problems. You can figure out certain stuff and stop a little bit the bleeding, but you can't stop the whole thing. So, like, subscribe to my channel, man. Just give me a thumbs up on the video all the way up. Let your boy know something, you know what I'm saying? Is it any solution for a problem for like this caliber? And do you think we're gonna stop it? It can be stopped, But it's gonna take a long period of time to realize that a lot of people know how to deal with that problem in their own neighborhoods. Any neighborhoods. Any neighborhoods gonna have problems. They can bring a problem to the rich white people neighborhoods. They bring a problem to rich black folk neighborhoods. A lot of people don't even want to come around the states no more because, or visit states because it's so violent. Some people go to visit stuff just to get out of their state and see how other states is, and they probably won't go live there because that's their first time. Like me, I only been in two states to live in: Arkansas, Wisconsin. But I've been around other states that I went through or visit, and I always say I want to go to live there because I never stayed there. Now, if I stayed in, but you but you gonna move. Every state, like I said, every state gonna have their problems. The police chief gonna have a handful of it. Every state you go to, they got problems. And like I said, they trying to figure out how to solve stuff too. Some people figure out they can do something, a certain amount of time to them. Some people retire as a police chief, but they have problems. Too much of it. They have problems. Too much of it. And I know it's rough on them, trying to figure out the common solution. Well, like I told you once before, I think that man was smart for stepping down. He ain't no stupid. He ain't no dummy. He know he gonna have to go. He gonna go through hell and hot water. He ain't got no solution to all the problems. So I applaud that man for doing what he did. Peace and soul.